Hey, Instagram. How would you like to learn about exercise in way less time than it's supposed to take? I'm going to invite my friends from the Carol Bike on here. Give me 1 second to bring them on, and you can actually get better cardiovascular results in about 10% of the time compared to what you're probably doing today. Josh, who am I? I'm still working on that myself. Watch, you'll figure it out. Hey, Shankar. Hey, Steven. Let me bring in the Carol Bike guys. West, Harry, you don't even want to follow. That's amazing. Maybe you could lead. Hey, here we go. Hey, David.
Hey,
There we go. Saying to the comment people here, hey, Ulrich, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Doing great. A lot of people they believe that their job is to pound it out on cardio. And my results have been absolutely not. I did this hour and a half a day, 6 days a week. When I was doing half cardio, half weights, and I didn't lose the 100 pounds I had to lose. And you guys have been leading the way. So tell me about the Carol approach to cardio and what you're seeing.
Yeah, our approach is not pounding it out. We think if somebody loves to do that, they by all means should do it. But if you just want good results, if you want excellent results, in fact, there's way smarter ways of doing it. And what we're doing is we make an AI-powered exercise bike that uses REHIT, reduced exertion, high intensity training, which is a much shorter form where you actually just do 2 20-second sprints, and kind of the way you do them, you achieve the same or superior results than as you say, pounding it out. And that's by understanding how the body actually works and kind of pulling the right strings and applying the right triggers.
So better results in way less time, and that's not being made up. I've been using these for a while. There's a couple of research papers at the University of Colorado. I've interviewed the guys who validated this. So in Mother Nature, what we would do mostly is not use energy that we didn't want. Sorry, I'm laughing at BDFN guy who says they have a token ring network. That was a network engineering joke. That was awesome. You win the nerd joke of the day, BDFN guy. Anyway, I'm reading the comments as we go.
That's all right.
Victoria says, I have a Carol bike. They'll assemble it on delivery. What happens with this is we would walk around not fast, and then we see something like a rabbit or a tiger, depending, you either run towards it or run away from it, and then you calm down again. And this is what we were wired to do. And instead, what we do now is we just like hop on an exercise bike or a treadmill or whatever, and we just go. And we're saying, oh, we burned lots of calories, right?
Yeah.
Who cares? It seems like what the body listens to and what your AI algorithm figured out is like, how fast can you go fast? And then how fast can you go slow? How did you figure that out in the first place, though? Because it's kind of cool. And I got to say it works.
So I can't take all the credit for this. This has been around most people will be quite familiar with HIIT training, high intensity interval training. And that's been around for a long time. And then it was more because HIIT is still perceived as fairly long, kind of by most, like the way most people do it, and as actually quite hard to do. But it produces good results. So then it was a longer quest where academics, scientists looked for the shortest dose, kind of how little can you do to still get the results, and also try to understand what actually what triggers the results. And so there's we're standing on the shoulders of giants, as you say. There's some excellent scientists who have developed the protocol and who've helped us understand why it works. And I can maybe just briefly explain that. So what the kind of our ride is very short. It's 8 minutes, 40 seconds. And it's now available in even shorter, but that's another thing. So, you only need two 20-second sprints, and you go from very casual pace to all out very, very rapidly. So you have like 100-fold increase in energy demand. And your muscles need to access energy very rapidly. And the source of energy that they can access rapidly is muscular glycogen, which is the emergency energy reserve. And the really clever bit about it is when you ramp up the energy demand so fast, the muscle actually mobilizes loads more of this muscular glycogen than it needs for two 20-second sprints. So just the onset, like how quickly you start and how high you go in terms of your intensity, that triggers the release, because the body anticipates that now it needs to be ready. Now it needs to be in a position to kind of fight for your life or run for your life or so. But then once it's released, that triggers already the adaptation, because your body doesn't like to tap into these emergency energy reserves. Doesn't matter whether you use it all and whether you kind of burn through it for 2 hours. No, it's the important thing is to mobilize it, and then it will be, metabolized later on. But it's enough to mobilize it through those two 20-second sprints. And, doing more sprints or longer sprints doesn't make a difference. You've mobilized already a large amount. And that's what triggers the adaptation.
Exactly. So you tap in, and the tapping is achieved. You don't have to keep sucking on it once you tap into it, right? And that's something we didn't understand, mostly because we had this like calories in, calories out 1970s thinking that affected exercise and nutrition and everything. But the data is really clear. And there's a question here from Aries Best says, do we have to be on a ketovore diet to benefit from using the bike? You do not. You don't have to be on the Bulletproof diet. You don't have to be carnivore. You don't have to be keto. You don't even have to do intermittent fasting. All of those could be helpful for you. A vegan diet will not be helpful for you in anything. Other than that, you can do what you want to do.
That's all right. No, you can do that. So I'm certainly not normally on keto. And so many of our users, like we have many biohackers amongst our users, and they try all sorts of different things. I know fasting is very popular, time-restricted eating is very popular, keto is very popular, but no, you don't have to. And in fact, the scientific research was not done with people who were on a specific diet.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. So Max Mark here says, can you be baked? So I'm going to translate that to cannabis, THC, or CBD, or any other anti-inflammatory thing. Does it matter if you're taking anti-inflammatories when you're doing this? Will you get less results? Because certainly for other types of exercise, if you're taking vitamin C or things, even aspirin, that suppresses the inflammation that happens after exercise. Is this part of VO2 max? I actually don't know the answer to this.
So you get a truthful, I don't know. I could not possibly admit to having done it with THC. And so I simply don't know. That's an interesting thing for research, and we're
Are you signing up for the research right now? You guys heard this here. Ulrich said
it sounds like a very interesting and worthwhile thing to try. Yes.
All right. Okay. Here's a question from Aries who asked the question earlier: lower back pain and impacts on the bike. As someone who's really interested in doing it, it seems like it would depend on why your pain happens, right? Because if you can't ride a bike because you have a spinal thing, but
so here's the thing. This is a personal thing. So my mom is 78. And after me, she's one of our most frequent users. That's maybe because she's my mom, and I made the bike, so she's very affectionate about it. But she unfortunately has lower back pain and is restricted in how much other exercise and walking she can do. But she tells me, and in fact, she messages me every other day when she used the bike, how good it is for her, that it is something that she can use, and that helps her maintain her fitness despite, back pain making other exercise more difficult for her. So we have a vast range of users, from like really young, fit athletes up to, my mom's not the oldest user. We have users into their 80s. This is a safe exercise that's well tolerated. And yeah, if you have issues with other exercise, this might be something. A bike is a very mild form of exercise. And then because it's so short, the overall exertion is low, even though you go all out for 2 times 20 seconds, but it's overall the amount of load is little, and therefore it's very well tolerated.
This is one of those things where even if your back hurts, we're talking about 5 minutes. Yeah. And that's a big thing versus a half hour, right? So as long as you're not causing damage, I mean, if you have like a ruptured disc and your mechanical stuff. But what's happening here is, in 8 weeks, in the studies that I reviewed, lowering your risk of type 2 diabetes by 62% and improving your VO2 max by 12%, which, if you look at the VO2 max to lifespan studies, that's about 2 years of healthy lifespan. If your back hurts when you start, within 2 months, if you reduce your risk of diabetes, which also reduces inflammation, your back might just stop hurting. Not because your back got fixed, but because the systemic inflammation went down. And guys, I am lazy. The whole point behind Upgrade Labs, the whole point behind biohacking is let's do less and get better or equal results, so we can have more time to be parents, to start companies, to go for a walk, whatever you like to do, right? To eat chocolate. I don't care, right? Yeah. Do something you love instead of something that doesn't work very well. Right?
Exactly that, yeah.
And this is one of those cool technologies that's better than high-intensity interval training, which I've been recommending for 10 years in my books, because it's better than what I used to do when I was fat, right? So this is another level. And if you guys are curious, go to the Biohacking Conference, biohackingconference.com, September 17th. Carol's going to be there. You can actually sit on one. It's only 5 minutes. You can try it, right? You can order one. You guys have a money-back guarantee and all that, right?
That's correct. Yeah, we have a 100-day home trial. We're very convinced. We have great faith in our product, and believe that the people who try it will love it. And that's more than enough time to see results. And by the way, we're at the conference. It's not only a chance to try it. I hope I'm allowed to give this to tell. We're also going to give 2 bikes away, so there's a good chance to win a bike and actually go home with one. So do come.
There you go. Guys, the conference is in Orlando, Florida, September 17th through 19th. And we just sold out of the VIP passes, but general admission is still there. There's going to be more than 100 vendors of biohacking technology. Go and play with it. So you can actually hop on a Carol bike. You can feel what it does and go, wait, I didn't sweat. That wasn't very hard. In fact, you're going to say the same thing I did, which is, actually, this seems too good to be true. And what you're going to find, 90% of the stuff you see on Instagram and everything else, it actually is too good to be true. If you take this little pill, no, it's not going to do everything, right? But there are the other 10% of things you go, oh my God, there's tons of research. It actually works. It's validated. And my job is to go through and sort all the BS and talk about stuff. And just because it worked for me doesn't mean it'll work for you, but I'll tell you why and how it works so you can judge whether it's likely to work for you. The data behind the Carol bike is substantial. It is real. And the notion that tapping in is what hits the switch instead of draining the reservoirs. That's really important, because if you get the same benefits, just tap in, get it done. You didn't have to change into sweaty clothes. You have to take a shower. You didn't even need like stretchy yoga pants unless you're into those. I mean, I'm into those, right? But all that stuff, it's optional for you. And what do you do with the rest of the 45 minutes? Are you going to meditate? Right? Are you going to learn something? Going to read a book? That's why this matters so much to me. So, Ulrich, I think you guys have done some cool stuff. And by the way, go to carolbike.com. If you use code Dave, because you follow me, they're going to give you $100 off. But remember, you don't have to believe me. This is 100 days to try it. Remember, it's 8 weeks, which is less than 100 days, 12% VO2 max, 62% reduction in diabetes. So seriously, get it, try it. How many days a week do you have to do it to get the results?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it 3 days, 5 days? How many times a week do you have to do it?
So 2 to 3 times per week. we recommend 3 times, but 2 to 3 times. There's even studies that show 2 times is enough, but our recommendation is 3 times per week, 8 minutes 40 seconds. So that's 26 minutes per week. That's very rapid.
All right, guys. So you're gonna buy it. You save $100 up front. You're going to use it for 100 days, and you do have 3 times a week to use about like 7 minutes or something like that. Okay. This is a stupidly low ask. And if it doesn't work, you send it back. Okay.
That's right.
That's why I think it's worth having Ulrich on here. Just because think about it. Like, how much time would you get back? What if you listened to an episode of Bulletproof Radio and all that extra time you had, and when you were in a sauna or something, like you got your time back, or you use it to play with your kids, right? Like, oh, I got my cardio done, right? To me, that's just awesome. So I hope that it frees up time and energy for you. And here's a question from use. I can't even say FVI. How does it compare to the Bulletproof Vibe? Totally different. I actually use my Carol bike, and I'll use my Bulletproof Vibe afterwards. I'll stand on it. It's the same thing, though. When I'm standing on it, I can actually like go and I can check email. I can do whatever I want to. It's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I'll do some squats on it. That's more of like a lymphatic drainage and a bone stimulation. And if you're doing squats, a little bit of muscle. But the Carol bike is cardio. So totally different sides of the things. They're 2 of the most effective things you can do.
Yeah, exactly. And like a bit of resistance training and strength training, of course, that's also good for you. And you should, because it's like a different modality. But for cardio, for your heart, for your metabolism, this is a very the fastest way to get those benefits.
So there you go, guys. I will always tell you how to get more benefits in less time because it makes me laugh. It's the opposite of what you're supposed to do. It's actually a little bit rebellious and misbehaved. Like, wait a minute, you mean I didn't have to sweat? And all the self-flagellation. You guys know what flagellation is? This is like a thing that Catholic monks from the 14th century, that like hit themselves with ropes stuff, like they whip themselves because they're
whatever you're into.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you're into. I mean, if you're into that, I'm not going to judge you or anything out loud. But
exactly.
what's going on here is exercise wasn't meant to be like that. And you can go on a bike ride with your friends and like that's fun, but that isn't actually going to get you as many benefits as your 7 minutes of tapping in because you probably didn't tap in. Right? Think of it like this. If you have like a dam and they open the floodgates and like a huge amount of water comes out, that's exercise. But if instead you're going to evaporate the water, well, the water levels got lower, but you didn't get the benefits of the exercise. It's that kind of a way of thinking about it. So, Ulrich, thanks for making something cool and tying AI in and tying the algorithm of our metabolism to do it. I think it's legit. You guys go to the Biohacking Conference, and that's where you can go and you can play with it. And that's biohackingconference.com. And if you just want to buy it, try it, and send it back if it doesn't work, I wouldn't be here if it didn't work, but you can do that. You go to carolbike.com and use code Dave, save $100. So there you go, guys. Worth your time?
I think so. Yeah, perfect.
Anything else they should know? What did I miss?
So if somebody wanted to know more, we were actually very grateful to be on your podcast. I think we got really fantastic and very positive response. We spoke about a lot of things there. So that would be if people need a little bit more convincing, listen to the podcast, come to the conference. And yeah, if you want to try the bike, you can order one. There's very little risk.
All right, there you go. Thank you for sharing some information. Here you go. Max is like, hard to give up adrenaline high from 10 to 12 mile aggressive bike rides in nature. You know what, Max? You can still do those. You'll just be better at those if you do the other one, right? You don't have to give up the things you love. But there's a lot of people who are like, I hate exercising so much. I'm going to get on this exercise bike. I'm going to look at a big screen where there's some annoying person going, you can do it. You are enough. Just pedal harder. Everybody stand up and sprint. I'm sorry. I just want to throw up in my mouth for that kind of exercise. It is not good. Right, actually, unless it makes you happy, in which case, but what Max is talking about, go off in nature, like go for whatever. That's good, but I don't think I need like that kind of motivation when I know I can do better in 5 minutes with headphones telling me what to do. So we're aligned on that one, Ulrich. It's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, guys, I will see you at the conference, September 17th, Orlando, biohackingconference.com. You already know, go to carolbike.com, use code Dave, and just give it a try. Like, you'll get your time back. Thanks, Ulrich. See you guys
Fantastic.
later.
Thank you, Dave. Have a good evening. Bye.